Namo Doi Savarigantanam, Namo Doi Savaridanam, Namo Doi Savayiriyam, Namo Doi Savujayam, Namo Doi Savatrikalavati Savanam, Omkaramendru Sanyuta Nityam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Che Omkaraya Namo Manganam Bhagavan Viro Maganam Uttamam, Manganam Kunkundari Ujendram Bhusamanganam Namasana Anubhutya Jakasti Sohai Bhavaya Vivaho Nirusinda.
Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Arantanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Ayayanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Ojjayanam. Om Namo Loye Sarvatrikavarti Savanam. Yesho Panchanamukaro Sarvapava Panasano Manglalancha Sarvesim Paramam Havai Manglam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yodinam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo 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 Samay Saraya Swanu Bhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachye Adnantimira Andanam Nana Anjana Salakaya Chaksuranyalatamyana Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Karo Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkaranada Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinana Samo Sarana Sau Jayavanta Varto Neke Kachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo Etirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Kunda Kundane Aho upakara jinavarano kundano dvani devano jina kunda dvani atya aho te guru kanano aho te bhagavati matano dhruva achalane anupamagati panela sarve sedane vandi kaho sutakevali bhasita samaya prabhata hare Ekasudha sada ariti jnana darsana mukhare Kayante maru jari paramahana pranatiyare Jamane kate madhunana karakamati vedat ar jane jakaramo jayajara bandhati madhumokam Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Shivaya Namo Jai Siddhant. So we are going to start today. We'll be starting from the very kind of basic of Jainism. There are so many complex things are there in Jainism. So we thought that it's better we start with the basic things and gradually go to the principles deeper and deeper. Because important thing is, if we have a solid background, solid base, then our building for religious principles will be that much stronger. Jainism, as we have said before, and that probably to so many of you that I made before, that I said that Jainism is basically extremely deep philosophy. There is nothing is kept for just faith perspective only. You got to understand. You know everything extremely in detail, and once you know everything in detail, then you understand why should I follow. Should I follow this one? Should I not follow this one? That has to come from me, from bottom of my heart. That yes, I understand. If I understand, then yes, I'm going to go for it. If I don't understand, I don't accept it. There is nothing like I told you so. You know, I mean, so many of us, when we are growing up, when we ask our parents and our elders about what about this, what about that, and we have been put down that, come on, you just don't want to follow this one, so that's why you're questioning this thing. No, you must question. Each and every step you must question. If this makes sense to me, then I'll go one step ahead. If it doesn't make sense, I will not go ahead and I'll keep on asking. So here what we have is, to start with, we just start with some Jain expositions, Jain scriptures, that what are these Jain scriptures about? So let's talk about it. That if you talk to any Christian, anybody in Christianity, they will say, my main scripture is Bible. And he or she really believes deeply into it. If we ask Islam, then they say ours is Quran. And so that is the main scripture. If we ask Hinduism, then there is a Gita. That is their main thing. Then what is your main scripture? That's a question asked, that what is the main scripture for Jainism? Then we just say, you know what, Jainism doesn't have one single book as a scripture. There are hundreds and thousands of books are there, that they are the principal scriptures. I'm talking principal scripture. The secondary books are later on so many other. But so how do I just answer to a person, or how do I understand within me that what is the scriptures of Jainism? So when we look at Jainism scriptures, then they are divided into 4 different major categories. That 4 different major categories are divided, and the very first one in the sense, I know nothing. I'm a plain, pure, generic person coming from the street. I would like to know something about Jainism. What will I do? What will I go through it? So Acharya Bhagwan says, our monks, they say that there are scriptures called Prathamanuyog. Pratham means beginning. Anuyog means scripture. Beginning scriptures. What are these beginning scripture? They're related to mythology. Means you have been given a story, you listen to the story, and then you understand the essence of the story at the end, and you just, oh, that's what it is. So if Mahavir did something and he has to pay the prices, if Mahavir did become arrogant in his previous life when he was Marichi, and he has to pay the price of being arrogancy to go to lower form of life and everything. When we understand that part, then we say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should not do anything bad. So these are the very beginning kind of scriptures. My grandchild, when she comes to me, I don't start talking about soul and attributes and the modes and everything. She needs to be taught in her own language, in her own capacity. So if I'm a plain, pure, generic person, then this kind of scriptures will be a good beginning for me. And there are lots and lots of number of scriptures are there. We'll go through that one later on. Second set of scriptures are called Charnanuyog. Charnanuyog means, Charan means, Acharan means the behavior. Ethics. What is the ethics? What is the behavior of a householder to be? What is the behavior of a monk to be? And these kind of things are explained in these Charnanuyog scriptures, these ethical related scriptures, and they just say do's and don'ts. You can't do this, you have to do this, you have to do that one, you cannot eat this. So all kind of eating related things or my daily routine activity related things, those are the ethical related things. It's called Charnanuyog. So that's a another form of scripture, and there are a lot more scriptures coming under that heading. And as we said, we'll be going through later on to talk about it. Then comes Karnanuyog. Karnanuyog means it's related to etiology and cosmology. What's the size of the universe? How big is the universe? How many heavens are there? How many hells are there? What's the size of the area where I live? What's a Jambu Dweep? Means Jambu Island. What's the size of Jambu Island? In the south part of the Jambu Island, there is an area of Bharat Kshetra, where we presently at present live. And all those things are cosmology, mathematical related things, and they are dimensions related, and they are specific things. And that's why it's a cosmology, and it also teaches us about karma. How many karmas are there? What kind of karma can come to me because of what kind of things I can do? So all those kind of things, how many types of karma are there? How many are destructive karma? How many are non-destructive karma? And these are the things we'll be talking a lot more when we go in detail in later subjects after the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lecture series and everything. But those are the things, karma related things. The karma science that comes in cosmology. So this is also called mathematics. They are exactly 2 plus 2 is 4. It cannot be 5. It cannot be 3. It is 4 in any language that you go and see. So wherever you go and see how many karmas are there, 8 types of karma are there, how they are coming to me, what is the reason that I acquire this karma, how long they stay with me, when do they come in fruition, when fruition comes, what happens. All those extreme mathematical details are coming in this scripture. This is the most microscopic type of scripture. In the sense, there is so many details are given that if one goes in a deeper and deeper and deeper, it's an abyss. There is no way out practically. It is that much details are there. And very, very specific details are there. There is no room for error, anything. So that's called Karnanuyog related scriptures. And the last and most important are called Dravyanuyog. Dravyanuyog they are related to metaphysics. Metaphysics means what's the nature of soul? What is the soul made up of? If you take the soul into the lab, theoretically, and you start dissecting, being a medical man, I have to dissect, right? So you dissect the soul. So how many attributes are there? How many? What is a mode means? What happens in those attributes? How those attributes keeps on transforming, and all those details are there in metaphysical related, and that is the hardcore philosophy. This is the hardcore philosophy, and it is very difficult to digest, and it's easy if we have the basis build up. So that's our job right now, is to do the base building up, that how I am, what is my basic things, how can I go? It's such a huge things. And where do I begin? I have no idea. So this kind of things gives us some idea where should I begin. And once I know where to begin, then I can keep furthering my spirituality. So these are the related main 4 sets of scripture, under which the hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of books are there. And so those are the things I had to know it. Once I know these 4 expositions in a kind of proper way, then I become discriminative, that who is speaking from what angle. If somebody is talking about my behavior that I should not do, or I should do this, then it is coming from ethic-related scriptures. If story is being told, it's coming from the mythological section. And if the hardcore philosophies is discussed, For example, when we are discussing Samasa, there is Dravyanuyog. It is so specific and so minute and so microscopic that it is really important for one to have basis ready. Otherwise, he or she can totally get lost in that. So we will be trying to understand those things. So these are the mainly 4 expositions we have it. Now, when we come to mythological section, when we come to Prathamanuyog, what do we learn in that one? What does it include? What's the subject matter? So let's talk about it. Subject matter is, there is a discussion about illustrious personage. Any given half-time cycle, we'll talk about half-time cycle, what is mean. It means right now, for our beginning purpose, it's a long time. In that half-time cycle, there are 63 important personages, they take birth. And those are the ones that they shape the time. So these are the most important 63 personalities in any half-given time cycle that we are coming across. And there are stories of those 63 important persons are there. For example, 24 Tirthankars are part of the Salakha Purush. That means, what was the Rishabdev doing, the first Tirthankar? What did Mahavir did, 24th Tirthankar? What did Parsna did, the 23rd Tirthankar? What's the story of 16th Tirthankar named Lord Santinath? So those are the stories are there, and there is a lots of important informations that one can get it from the story aspect. Because I'm a generic person, I know nothing about it. So by medium of story, I get interested. I get interested in what is happening, and I start shaping up myself for that. Now, this one is given to the very basic beginner. So this discourse is given to the very beginner who is a wrong believer. Wrong believer means mithyatva. What's a wrong belief? See, this word will come again and again in our discussion. Wrong believer, wrong belief and right belief. Wrong belief means mithyatva. Right belief means samyaktva. What is my wrong belief? Why do you say that I have wrong belief? Because I believe that thing which is not mine, I consider that one as mine. If this phone, is it mine? Oh, it is made up of matter particles. It can get lost. It can get broken. It can get disintegrated. If all those things happen, let's say this thing fell in the fire. It burns out. It doesn't affect me at all, basically. Yeah, because I know this is my phone, and that's why I will have affection towards it. I'll feel bad if it goes into the fire and gets burned out. Suppose somebody else's phone is getting burned out. Last night, my daughter-in-law was at my home and said, oh my God, I lost my wallet. I lost my wallet. What can I say? You know, I mean, you seem to have lost it. If it was my wallet or my wife's wallet, I'd be going ups and downs all over the place to try to look for it and everything. It's somebody else's thing. Why should I worry about it? So that's called wrong belief. Thing which is not mine, I believe it is mine. That's called wrong belief. Me, who am I? I'm the soul substance. I'm the soul substance. Eternal soul substance. I was never created, will never be destroyed. I am that kind of soul substance. And this body, I have a transient association with this body for 70, 80, 75, 80 years, whatever time. It will be there. It will disintegrate. So why should I put too much attention and mindness to this body? So that's a wrong believer. And also the beginner people. Beginner means who has no idea about philosophy at all, no idea about Jainism. So he enters into this one, and he understands some of the principles of Jain principles. Also, this vowlessness person means one who has not observed any of the vows at all, and he's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy, doesn't care for anything else. These are the people that Prathamanayog, mythological related scriptures, will help them out, to help them interest get generated, and so they will have kind of interest to further their spirituality. Now, what happens here? The person is totally generic, and he is not having any idea about spirituality. So he understands something out of the stories and everything. So he now becomes a little bit afraid to do the inauspicious deeds. He will be afraid to do any kind of wrong deeds. Let's say I just go and steal something from somebody, and I said, so what? I want it, so I got it. But by reading this kind of stories and everything, so he just thinks that, you know what, these inauspicious deeds are not my cup of tea. I don't think I should just have this kind of act done. So he's getting a little bit afraid about performing the bad deeds. So this is the beginning. And then last thing, what happens to this person, that what happens, the essence of this mythological scripture is, I end up knowing that I'm not the body. This is my body. I'm the soul. Soul and body are separate. So I should be, I should take care of body in the sense, if I'm sick, I should go to doctor, I should take medication, everything. But constantly, I don't have to work on the body. Look, I go to gym, look at my muscles. I have the six-pack abdomen. Why? What is all those things? If you stop breathing, that body is useless to you. So this kind of idea will come to the person that, these are the things present in myself. The body is there, but I should not give undue attention to it. Yes, this body needs twice a day, 3 times a day food, so I give the food to it. If body becomes thirsty, it needs water, I'll give water. But now I have to give water, but it should be cold water. It should be flavored water. It should be vitaminized water. No, come on, you don't have to treat that body that way. Give nutrients. That's all it requires. So in this mythological scriptures, one understands at least that he has discrimination, that I am separate from the body. And that's a big beginning for that. So let's go to the next one now. There's a Prathamanayog. By the way, I have sent it out 2 sets of slides, and we will not, with my way of working, I doubt that we can finish the first set of slides also, but I'll send it out, and if the time permits, we'll go through next one. If not, we'll do it next time and everything. So don't worry. If question comes up, you can always ask. So don't worry about that one. If you don't want to ask now, you can also send the email also, ask the questions, or call me anytime, 24/7. We can discuss that thing. Okay, so having said that, we finished the first thing is mythological scripture. Now comes, those 63 illustrious personages. Who are those things? So they are 24 Tirthankaras, from Rishabdev to Mahavir Swami, Rushabh, Ajit, Sambhav, Abhinandan, Sumati, Padmakrishna, Supas, Chandraprabhu, Suvidhi, Siddhal, Shyam, Swasu, Puja, Vimala, Ananta, Dharma, Santi, Kuntu, Ara, Malli, Munisavrat, Nami, Nemi, Pas, Vardhman. So these are the 24 Tirthankars that present time that we follow them. So they are 24 of 63 illustrious personages. There are 12 universal monarchs. What are those things? They are called Chakravarti. Chakravarti means they are the ruler of the 6 continents. When we go through the details about Jambu Island and Dhati Khand and all those things, we'll be talking more about Chakravarti and everything. But right now, Chakravarti is universal monarch. He is a given person, highest possible material thing one can have possession is universal monarch. He has a huge amount of wealth at his disposal. In spite of that, he realizes his soul and he keeps on walking on the right path. So 12 universal monarchs are there. 9 Vasudevs are there. 9 Vasudevs are the king of 3 continents. This Chakravarti, they are king of 6 continents. These guys are Vasudeva, the king of 3 continents. Then he is a Prati Vasudev. He always has one enemy. One Vasudeva has one enemy, and they are Prati Vasudev called. And there are 9 Baldev, means older brothers of Vasudeva. These Vasudevs, 9 Vasudevs are there. Their older brothers are called Baldev. So if we look at the mythology, we can give some example. For example, as we say, 24 Tirthankar, Rishabdev to Mahavir Swami, 24 Tirthankars are there. Universal monarch, the commonest name that we all know about is a King Bharat, Chakravarti Bharat. Who was this Chakravarti Bharat? He was the son of Rishabdev. And so he's like him, there were 12 total universal monarchs occur in this half-time cycle. 9 Vasudev. What are these Vasudevs? That we just go through Vasudev, couple of names that we go through. One is Lakshman. If you understand Ramayana, then Lakshman was Vasudev. And Krishna was Vasudev. So when we say Hindu philosophy is Krishna Bhagwan, so Krishna was Vasudev. And Lakshman means Ram's brother. Lakshman was a Vasudev also. So Baldev is an older brother of Vasudev. So if Lakshman was a Vasudev, then his older brother is a Ram. So Ram becomes Baldev. Krishna was a Vasudev. So his older brother is Baldev. His name is Baldev. And he was a Baldev also. Now, when we talk about Prati Vasudev, there are 9. So if we take Lakshman as a Vasudev, then Ravan was a Prati Vasudev. If we take Krishna as a Vasudev, then Jarasangh was a Prati Vasudev. Now, what are all these things? Why should I know all these things? Because they are the most illustrious personage of our time cycle, and they have stories are involved in everything, and we learn those. These are all 63 people. They are going to go to moksha. Tirthankaras go to moksha right away. Then rest of the things, they may go to moksha right away, or within 1 or 2 or 3 lives they end up going to moksha. So these are the most illustrious personages on the way to moksha. So those are things that's Pratmanuyog we talk. Now we talk etiology and cosmology related scriptures. What are those things? This one has a description regarding cosmic space and karma. What's a cosmic space? Lokakash. What is it? What's the size of it? What is the upper part of the cosmic space is called? It's a heavenly abode. What's the middle part is called? That's called middle world. That's where we are living in. What's the lower part of the world? What's the lower world? There's a hell, and there are 7 types of hell are there. So these are the things that we learn from cosmic space, etc., from these cosmological scriptures. And there is also karma theory. Karma if we just know the Atma Siddhi Shastra that Krupaladev wrote down, he says, Karma ananta prakarana ema mukhye art ema mukhye moni hanaite kaupat. Means there are 8 types of karma are there, and out of 8 types of karma, the deluding karma, the monia karma, deluding karma is the most important. If one can win over the deluding karma, then he wins over all the rest of the karma. The deluding karma, monia karma, is called king of all the karma. So if you kill the king in the war, then rest of the army dissipates. Here, same way. If one controls the monia, one controls his deluding state, one controls his deluding karma, then rest of the karma, they are going to get dissipated in no time. So this is the karma related thing that we'll be learning as the time comes. Knowing infernal and celestial destinations. Now, if I do certain things, I'll end up going to hell. If I do certain good activities, I may end up going to the heaven. If I end up doing intense good activities, I may go to the higher form of heaven. And if I do the intense bad activities, then I may go to the highest form of infernal life where there is intense suffering is there. So by knowing this kind of things, 4 realms of transmigration. I could be human being, could be subhuman, means of plants and animals, could be celestial, or it could be infernal life. So there's 4 types of realms of existence. Char gati, 4 gati, 4 realms of existence. And I end up knowing that one. Knowing that one, now I don't want to do the inauspicious activity, because if I do something bad, then I may end up going to infernal life. Why should I invite suffering myself? So I should be careful about it. So now he enters into doing some religious activity and gives up his inclination of inauspicious deeds and actions. So this is what we learn from here. Now, he ends up knowing the different elements, and his knowledge of truth becomes clearer. Tattva gnani nirmalta. As we said, this cosmology is very microscopic, and it's precise. And it is so precise that if some learned person, some intellectual person wants to know about it, he can keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And when he goes deeper and deeper, then his understanding of the reality becomes clearer and clearer. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my relationship to this karma and everything? All those things I know it. So my knowledge of truth, knowledge about my soul becomes clearer. And once that is there, then I can further progress towards more spirituality. So what happens here now? What do I learn? Remember, I learned that there are 8 types of karmas are there. Now, their karma are material particle. I am the consciousness element. I am the element of a soul. I am the element called soul, who has a consciousness attribute, and as a result of consciousness attribute, I know everything. I know what is right, I know what is wrong, and all those things. So my knowledge is there, my consciousness is there. And now I know this cosmological part. I find out that this material karma are not part of me. That means I'm separate from the material karma. In the mythological section, I was separate from the body. Here now I go a little bit more deeper. Now I'm separate from material karma. Then we'll go further deeper and see what happens next. Now called Charnanuyog related scriptures related to the ethics. What is the ethic? What's the behavior of a householder? What's the behavior of a monk? For example, a person is dying is dying with a thirst, and a householder is passing by and a monk is passing by. They both have water with them. This person is dying and says, give me water, give me water, give me water. I'm dying, I'm dying. What's the duty of the householder? Scripture says you are supposed to give water to that person. What's the duty of the monk? Monk's duty is not to give water, but to give advice to this person, to give discourse to this person. Because if he's dying right now and the right amount of discourses are given to that person, he possibly can realize his soul, and once he realizes his soul, then he's going to be liberated in near future. So monk's duty is to give the discourses, to explain the real nature of the soul. Householder has to give water. So this kind of ethics, these scriptures will tell us. So it's a conduct of the householders and conduct of the monk is involved in these scriptures. Listening to the householder's duties, he ends up performing righteousness in his capacity. I end up knowing what is my right form of duties are there. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? What do I don't do it? This Sunday we had a gathering in the temple, and this was the first gathering after Paryushan and Daslakshan Parva, and so our Jain Center had sent it out, do's and don'ts list to the kids, but the Sunday school kids, that they have been told that, listen, these are the do's and don'ts list, and whatever way you can do it and write down that I did not do this, I did not do this, or I did this, whatever. So lots of kids, they did everything, and we had given some kind of points and everything, and it was so surprising that combined together with all the kids, it came out to about 100,000 plus points. Idea is, you understand what are my duties, what are the do's and don'ts for me as a householder, or what are my do's and don'ts as if I'm a monk. So these are specific things laid out into the scripture. Now, do I have to follow all those things? No, the scriptures, they just give you kind of boundary that, if you remain within this boundary, then chances for you to get into wrong deeds is minuscule. So I want to stay away from the wrongdoing. Not only staying away from the wrongdoing, I want to do right thing also. Not only doing right thing, ultimately I want to realize my soul, and that's my aim. So these are the things this ethic related scripture will teach me, all those things. So what happens when I know that, do's and don'ts, I can do this, I don't have to do that and everything, then his passions means, remember, words are limited, and especially English language is very limited words. Sanskrit and Indian languages, they are rich with the words and everything. There are beautiful words are there, but when we try to translate into English, sometimes it loses the charm. But as long as we are aware of it, what it means. Passions means not this garden variety regular word passion that we talked about. Passion means my kashai, my toxic emotions. My toxic emotions of anger, deceit, ego, greed, likes, dislike, all those things are called passions or toxic emotions. So my toxic emotions becomes milder. See, it says you shouldn't become angry. So now I became angry right now. Then I realize that's not my nature. To become angry is not my nature. I should be careful next time. So my anger nature becomes milder and becomes milder again and again and again. So at one point, it is so mild that I give it up completely. So this is the benefit that I get from these ethical related scriptures. So what happens? This soul ends up with better realms of existence. Gati in future. Means this is kind of very misnomer word. It's not the right thing. Why? Because what's the realms of existence? The 4 realms of existence are there. Human, heaven, infernal, and subhuman. Subhuman means plant and animal. These 4 realms are there. I'm a human being right now. I'm a 5-sense human being. I have all my faculties are working right now. Intellect is working. I'm not having Alzheimer right now. I'm not invalid right now. I understand what is right from wrong and everything. And I can understand detail about the philosophy. I have those opportunities in front of me. So when I understand those things, what better realm of existence I can get than this human being that I have right now? So that's why I say this is a misnomer. Misnomer in the sense, yeah, if I did not get right faith, I did not get samyak darshan, I did not get self-realization, then I'm going to go in a different realm. I don't want to go into the animal plant life. I don't want to go to the infernal life. I would like to continue next life as a human and or heavenly life in which I can continue my spirituality further. So this sentence is kind of a little funny sentence that we should take it, we have to take it with a grain of salt. Then once I know this one, what happens? That because of my ethics, I know do's and don'ts. I know what are the things I should not do it, that I should not do the anger, I should not be deceitful, I should not have greed, I should not have ego, and all those things. When I'm making it less and less and less and less of those things, my circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and so that gives me that gives me opportunity to go within my true nature of the self. My aim is to go within. How can I go? Well, 2 ways to do it. Once, my active participation to go within my true nature, and second thing, all my worldly vices that they are pulling me away from myself, I try to limit those vices and make that circle narrower and narrower. So both the ends I start burning. When I start doing that, then it's easy for me to obtain right faith. Means samyak darshan, means self-realization, and that's what I'm planning to do. And so here, because I'm limiting my attentions from outside material things, that my attachment and aversion becomes less and less and less. And I end up knowing that they are not my nature. They are not my true nature. For example, I have an abscess on my hand right now, for example. Who has abscess? Does Preeti has abscess? Kathy has abscess? No, it's me. I have it. I have it. So it is my property. Within my sphere of influence, it is happening, right? But do I want to keep it with me? Do I just say, okay, let me just put a perfume on it. Let me put some talcum powder on it. No. I know it's my problem, but it is occurring with it, but it's to be thrown out. Same way, this inclination of attachment and aversion occurs within me, but they are not mine. They are not mine. I need to unload them. So those are the things that I learned from this one. And now last one we come is metaphysical related scriptures. Here, this is the hardcore philosophy. And it just gives you 6 universal substances, which will be our next topic that we'll be talking. 6 universal substances and 9 elements, Chaudravya, Nau Tattva. 6 substances are living, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time. 9 elements are living, non-living, auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, inflow, bondage, stoppage, shading, and liberation. Those are, and we'll be going through those things in a great detail as the time progresses. It just, excuse me, just gives us kind of overview right now where we belong in this whole schema of spirituality. So it just teaches 6 substances and 9 elements in extremely detail, like Samaisar. Some of you are attending the Samaisar classes that we do on Wednesday evening. That it just talks about the 6 substances and 9 elements in extreme microscopic detail, extreme detail. Right now, we just know the name. Then, with reasoning, logic, and comprehensive knowledge and partial point of views, one knows the nature of the soul. I want to know my nature of the soul. How can I know my nature of the soul? Now, did I experience my soul anytime right now? The true nature of the soul, have I experienced that before? No, I have not experienced. Why I have not experienced? Because right now I'm in a transmigratory cycle, and so that shows that when I realize my true nature of the soul, then I get self-realization. I'm on the pathway to liberation, which I'm not right now. So with reasoning, I'm doing logic, I give examples and all the things. I use a comprehensive knowledge, means praman, comprehensive knowledge, total complete knowledge, and partial point of view. Again, this comprehensive knowledge and partial point of view, these are the things we'll be talking a lot more detail. It just gives us a smorgasbord of all these things that we'll be talking about it in future. So ultimately, I want to know who am I? What is my true nature? What is my relationship to the outside material objects? How can I give up those relationships? How can I get engrossed within my nature? So all those things are metaphysical related scriptures. So when this thing happens, my wrong knowledge and wrong faith disappears. Wrong knowledge means agnan. Wrong faith means mithyatva. So mithyatva and agnan disappears, wrong knowledge and wrong faith disappears, and I have the true knowledge. The true knowledge of the truth occurs. Who am I? What's my real nature? When? How long am I existing? Do I have relationship to the karma? Do I have relationship to the body? Do I have relationship to the outside objects like money, wealth, car, business, family? All those things explains to me absolutely clearly. That's why as I said before, these are the most important thing. Till we understand these metaphysical scriptures, we cannot get self-realization. Am I on the path of self-realization? Do I want to have self-realization? I have to understand this metaphysics in detail. So those are things happens. So my likes and dislikes automatically starts decreasing. My inclination of aversion and inclination of attachment, rag and dvesh, they automatically decrease. Sun rises, darkness goes away. One time, darkness put the lawsuit on the light. And it was a multi-million-dollar lawsuit that of darkness put it on light. And the case was registered in the court. And judge says, okay, darkness, talk, what's your problem? Sir, look at this light. All the time it keeps on bothering me, keeps on bothering. Wherever I go, wherever I am there, he comes and just throws me out. And so judge said, it's really a problem, yes. So he asked light, what's the problem? What's your problem? Light said, sir, what are you talking about? I don't have any problem. What about this darkness? Sir, I never seen this darkness before. I don't know what the darkness is. I don't know where it exists. I just know myself how to give the light. So when the light is there, darkness automatically disappears. You don't have to make any effort to make the darkness disappear. Same way, likes and dislike, you don't have to force to have it decrease. As long as you think about your pure nature of the soul, then that light is so strong, likes and dislike type of darkness starts going away automatically. You don't have to make any extra effort to take them out. So ultimately, you end up with liberation in short time. And this liberation is our aim, that we are looking for it, and that's what we'd like to have it. Even mode is not my true nature. Here he understands that my modes are not my true nature. This is really a microscopic point we won't touch right now. I just realized that we are already 20 minutes above our time. No, we still have 10 more minutes to go. I'm sorry. I was thinking at the time. 6:30, 7:30. Okay, so even mode is not my true nature. Means I am the eternal soul substance, and in my thing, every moment a modification occurs within me. For example, let's say this phone that I have it, is it new or old? Well, looking at it, you can just say it's old. How did you know it's old? Well, it appears old. How did it become old? Well, it did not become old overnight. Every moment there is changes occurring in that phone. Every moment there is changes occurring in this book. That's why this book appears to be kind of an old book and not new. And this book, when you look, appears to be totally brand new book. So changes are occurring in all this thing continuously. But those changes are also not my true nature. As I said, this is very delicate point, and we will not be able to discuss too much at this beginning because we are at the basic level. So as we are progressing further, it will give us idea what this sentence means. So this is the metaphysics related scriptures. Now we'll just make the kind of total revision of everything that we talked about quickly. That this is Prathama Anuyog. What happens? 63 illustrious personages are there. Then let me just move this thing out from here. So hold it 1 second, please. Okay. So the beginners are there, or wrong believers are there, and they believe they are relieving themselves from inauspicious activities, and ultimately from this beginning scriptures they find out that I am not the body. That's the most important thing one learns, is I am not the body. From who? From the Prathama Anuyog, means a very, very basic scriptures that I know it. Second thing is Karna Anuyog, the cosmology related and karma related scriptures. There is a description of a cosmic space and karma, etc. are there. And with those things, I give up my inauspicious activity and I enter into religious activity. My knowledge becomes kind of sharper. My knowledge about truth, my knowledge about my soul becomes kind of clearer in this scriptures analysis. And ultimately, when I learned this one, then I found it out that I am not even the material karma. I'm separate from the material karma. Here, I was separate from the body. Here, I'm separate from the material karma. Next. Charnaniyog, as we said, conduct for householders and monks. He ends up performing righteousness in his capacity. Whatever capacity he has, he starts doing more and more activity towards good activities. Then his passion means toxic emotions becomes milder, and he ends up ultimately to the better realms of existence. If he obtains samyak darshan, means right faith, then naturally he's breaking his life and death cycle in no time, within next few lives. But till then, he will be getting better lives. He won't go to the animal and plant kingdom life. or hellish life, So this is Chananuyog. And over here, what I understand, I find it out that I'm not even my attachment and aversion. My inclination of attachment and aversion, rag and dvej, is also not my nature. As this app says, occurs within me, but it's not mine. Same way, inclination of attachment and aversion occurs within me, but they are not mine. That's what I learned. Dravyanuyog, the last one that is there, in which 6 substances and 9 elements we learn about it. One knows the nature of the soul because it just talks about soul only. Wrong knowledge disappears, right knowledge comes, right faith comes, true knowledge and truth occurs, and ultimately I end up with the path of self-realization and further for liberation. Even mode, one moment of mode is also not my nature, which is a very, very microscopic thing. So for example, very first discrimination I have is I'm not the body, then becomes a little bit microscopic that I'm not material karma, then it becomes further refinement that I'm not attachment and aversion, even though they are occurring within me. And last thing, any changes occurring within me is not my true nature. My true nature is eternity. I'm eternal soul substance. I don't have, even though changes are occurring within me, but I make them secondary in nature, and I consider my eternal nature as me, myself. So 4 types of scriptures, 4 different major category of scripture teaches me all the way from, where is it? All the way, it takes me from this separation from my body to the material karma, to attachment and aversion, and even my transiency also is not my nature. That's what it teaches us. Now, nature of the scripture. What is this nature of the scripture? Prathmanayog means they are principally poetry type of scriptures in which poems are there, singings are there, and those are the things which is very easy for me to join on those things. Second thing, Karnanayog scriptures are mathematical type of scripture. Absolute things are written. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's it. No changes, no nothing, nowhere. And those are the principles that we learn there. Chanayog, mainly it teaches me about my conduct. What should be my conduct? What should be my behavior? And those are things. And ultimately, this is the Dravyanuyog means the metaphysical scriptures are related to logic. And logic is also a huge branch in Jainism. It's amazing, amazing informations are there. And it needs to have lots of background to understand that logic scriptures. So now, what are the types of scriptures coming? What are some of the scriptures that we talk in all these 4 different analyses? So Prathmanayog has a Puran. Puran means 24 Tirthankars' lives. That's called Puran. They are there. Kalpa Sutra is a book which usually is been read during Paryushan time, and so they are called Prathmanayog type of scripture. Karnanayog scripture, they are very, very detail-oriented mathematical type of scripture. It's called, there's some of the scriptures are Shatkhandagam, Daula, and all those scriptures and Karma Granth and everything, they come in Karnanayog. Then comes Chananayog, Ratnakant Savakachar, Purusha Siddhi Upay, and those kind of scripture books, they come in Chananayog. And then in Dravyanuyog, we have the Samaysar, Pravachansar, Niyamsar, Astapahud, and Panchastikaya. These kind of scriptures, they come in all these 4 types. These are just sample things. There are hundreds and thousands of scriptures in each sections. So can I say that do I have one scripture that we follow like Bible or Quran or Gita? No. We have so many. So now, let's see. Now, Charnayog Lakshan means characteristics of Charnayog. We'll be talking Charnayog, Karnayog, and Dravyanayog. Means conduct-related scripture, the mathematical-related scripture, and metaphysics. So, what is their characteristics? That's what we'll be talking. Characteristics means, if we talk Charnayog, means conduct-related scripture, then from right faith perspective, Samyak Darshan perspective, what are the characteristics that I see in this ethic-related scriptures? That freedom from fear, etc. See the next slide. We'll be seeing the next slide. Means there are 8 types of properties that you see in a person. And that means when I see that kind of behavior in that person, then I can say that that person possibly has right faith, means Samyak Darshan. We'll go through the next slide on that one. We'll finish this slide first. Right knowledge means Samyak Darshan perspective. What do I see in Charnayog? What do I see here? Well, Vyanjanachar, etc. Are absent. And see the next slide. Means right knowledge also has 8 characteristics that when I see in those characteristics in a person, then I know that he is having, we are looking that person from ethical related angle. Then right conduct, what happened right conduct? That this person who is following the path of spirituality, that I'm looking at him from the perspective of ethical related thing, then he'll be seen to be observing 5 vows, 5 carefulnesses, and 3 restraints. And these are the changes that I'll be seeing in that person. So that's characteristics of Charnayog. Now, I'm coming to the next one, is a Karnayog. Karnayog perspective, what do I see in the right faith person? What kind of thing I see? Then over here I see absence of darshan, subject 7 types of karma is absence. This slide is extremely detailed actually, and if you just get fumbled around, don't worry about it. That's the whole idea. Why? Because now it just tells a person that, wait a second, what are these 8 types of freedom from fear, etc. I would like to know. I would like to know 8 types of right knowledge. I would like to know 7 types of karmas absent. I would like to know those things. It just creates an inquisitiveness within me. Right now, it doesn't make difference. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. We are going to pass through all those things. That the Jain Siddhant Praveshika book that we have it, all those things are mentioned there. We'll be going through it. I want to, just for the completeness, I wanted to throw this slide in, knowing ahead of the time that it is difficult. Some of the words are difficult to understand, but just to have the flavor, what we are looking for, what will be coming next, that it just gives some idea to us. When from a Karnayog perspective, when I'm looking from right knowledge perspective, then I have right perceptual and right scriptural knowledge, means Sumati and Susrut Gnan is within me. What are those things? As I said, will be coming next. Right conduct related, according to his spiritual stage, absence of deluding karma, etc. will be seen. So this is karma related thing. So what happens when karma starts disappearing from association with me, then some of the things are seen from this column perspective. Last one that we are talking is metaphysical perspective. What happens when there is right faith? Right faith means I have a conviction regarding true nature of the soul. I exactly know who am I. For example, baby is born. Baby is very innocent. knows nothing about complicated world and everything. And we gave the name to that baby Ria. And so, Ria, how are you? Ria, how are you? Ria. This child says, wait a second. They are talking some word and they are looking at me. Means, are they? So baby starts making association with the words and action and says, oh, that means I am Ria. Now, that child gets convinced. Now she's 5-year-old child. She doesn't need to be told that she is Ria. She already knows about it. In the first thing in the morning, I don't have to go in front of the mirror and just say, hey, who am I? Oh, my name is Kirit, right? Oh, okay, somebody calls me. I have conviction regarding me. It's deep-seated conviction. I am Kirit. If 10 people are sleeping, including me, and somebody says Kirit, only I will wake up because it's conviction that I am Kirit. Same thing over here. Dravyanuyog, when I digest that one properly, then from right faith perspective, I have conviction that I am the true nature of the soul. This is my true nature. That conviction comes. From right knowledge perspective, all the alien things of the universe are separate from me. Again, as I said, we won't go in detail about this one. And right conduct perspective, he gets and goes in his true nature. So these scriptures are teaching us so many things. I would like to have right faith. I would like to have samyak darshan. But from Charnanuyog perspective, I'll be free from fear, etc. From Karnanuyog perspective, I'll be having 7 types of karma will be absent. But then I'll have a real conviction about my true nature of the self. So these are the things. This gives kind of overview that what it's going to come in the future. It won't come next week, but it will come future and we'll know it. So now that we said that, see the next slide, we'll quickly see those next slide for these two things. Over here, freedom from doubts, freedom from anticipation, freedom from disgust, freedom from delusion notion, to cover shortcoming of poor religionists, promote stability, and to serve monks. These are the things that, there is one more, then the illumination. These are the 8 characteristics of right faith that you can see in a given person. Same thing from the right knowledge perspective. It's called Sabdachar, Arthachar, Ubhayachar, Kalachar, Vinayachar, Ubdhanachar, Bahumanachar, Aninvachar. Basically what it means, when I have the right knowledge, then when I'm pronouncing the verses, I will pronounce clearly. Next thing, I understand their meaning very clearly. And third thing, I interpret the verses accurately. The way I sing, the way I understand the meaning, so those are the things. Then, to study scripture at right time, this one we are going to talk sometimes, what time of the day one should really read the scripture, those kind of information is given. Vinayachar, to study scripture with the respect and all. So these are the right knowledge that there's 8 types of characteristics will be seen in those kind of individuals. Here, now, these 4 types of scriptures are the school work. We are in the school, in the vernacular school when we go, that we have the subject of history, and that's Pratmanuyog. Pratmanuyog gives the history about related things. Karnanuyog, it gives geography and mathematics. What's the location of the heaven and hell and all those things. Then it gives the geography. It also gives mathematics, Karnanuyog. It gives civic duty and rights, that's Charnanuyog. And Dravyanuyog is the one which teaches us about like science, physics, chemistry, and biology. So whole thing, if I understand all these 4 scripture, this is my schooling. This is my schooling for my true nature, for myself. I would like to know who am I? How can I go myself? So I have to know the history also, geography, maths, civic duty, and physics, chemistry, and biology. So these are the things when I know, then it's a complete schema of my scriptural knowledge. So those are the things that we have to understand, and we'll continue doing this one more. If there's more question, we can talk about it. Any questions so far? Before we close, I think we are almost there on the time. We just went about 5 minutes, 10 minutes off. Any questions? Yeah. Hello.
Great uncle દર્શન બોલું છું.
હા દર્શન બોલ બેટા.
આપણે જે આગમ કહીએ તો આ બધા જે આપણે ચાર પ્રકારના જે બધા છે એ બધા આગમમાંથી આવ્યા કહેવાય. આગમ
45 agams or 32 agams or all the things. We are divided into this their provisions. For example, if you take the Sutra, then it coming from deep anuyog. If you talk about conduct-related scriptures are there. What is the sadhu Mahatma should be doing? What's a householder? For example, at night time, I should not be eating. I should not eat certain food. Everything. Those are the scriptures that is your conduct-related scripture. So, and that's the Third Sutra, for example. That's a Yoga scripture. So all those scriptures are divided into these four basic categories. You know, Darshan?
Okay. So, આપણે એવું કહી શકીએ, can we say that Agam is the book that we follow?
The Agam is 45, right? There is not one Agam.
Yeah.
If you go to any motel right now and open the drawer, the Bible is there, because Bible is the. What will you do as a Jain? Would you put all the 45 big, huge scriptures? So there is not only one book on it. That's what we do.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to go in detail about this whole thing that we talk, there is a 8th chapter in Mokshmad Prakashak. Pandit Toramalji wrote down Mokshmad Prakashak, and on the 8th chapter, all these details are given, and there is a Gujarati version is there, Hindi version is there, and yes, there is also English version is there. If you need an English book, I think it is online. If not, just send me throw the email to me, and I'll send it out the soft copy book that I have. You know? 8th chapter, yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Well, if not, then I think we should close down right now, and then, and as I said, if there are any more questions coming later on also, then just throw the email or please call me anytime. The whole idea is we have the background become solid, our foundation becomes solid, so we understand what is happening next. This is just kind of very preliminary, basic thing that we talked about. Next week onwards, we'll talk to the universe and all those things in detail. Okay?
I request everybody to go on mute when you're speaking, because there is a lot of background noise. Please.
Okay. If somebody is not talking, then can go on mute. That will be good. Yeah. Okay. All right. If there is no question, then shall we wrap it up? Okay. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ डोक. No bam namo ka mantra, 9 times namo ka mantra. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Namo Rantana namo Siddhana namo Alam namo Jan namo Le Saushan. Jai Jinendra, Mitcha and Dukram, please forgive me. And if there is anything I may have said wrong or whatever, then please draw my attention, and so we can just rectify those things. Thank you very much. Jai.